Bitcoin should be worth over $1 million.
Bitcoin trading at $1 million.
Bitcoin's going to $1 million.
Bitcoin's going to $1 million.
Bitcoin hits $1 million.
You are being lied to about Bitcoin, and it needs to stop today. All over social media, you can see Bitcoin to $1 million. You can see it all over the news and all these news outlets and everybody chanting Bitcoin to $1 million. The problem is it's spreading like poison through everybody's ears, and it's going to make a lot of people lose a lot of money. In today's video, I'm going to show you actual proof based on math and data and actual facts in the charts that Bitcoin to $1 million is not possible this cycle. However, I'm going to tell you the best possible scenario in this cycle for Bitcoin. What is the most realistic, highest price we can actually go that's based on actual math and facts in the charts? I'm going to break it down for you so that you can stop having this crazy thoughts being put into your brain nonstop in the crypto space. The lies stop now. Welcome. I'm Steve. Here we deliver honest, sponsorship-free TA with genuine value. Subscribe for a no BS approach that actually helps you. Subscribe. Here we are. Let's get into it. Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we are on the monthly chart. What I have are 4 distinct cycles for Bitcoin, all of them doing the exact same patterns. And what we have are these beautiful colored boxes here. This is easily found by going to your tab over here and clicking on Fib Retracement. And what you're going to do is go to the prior cycle top, click once, drag to the cycle bottom, click another time, and it comes up. You're going to have the settings set up exactly like this. On log scale, it will look precisely like this. And what this is basically representing is once you take the prior all-time high and then that subsequent low and project it out, it's projecting where Bitcoin is likely going to go to. And guess what? Every cycle is exactly the same. The same levels of resistance are exactly the Fib levels. The same levels of the market cycle top, like we reached this yellow line in 2013. That's where the market cycle top was. It wasn't like in the middle of one of these lines. It wasn't like way above or way below. It was exactly at a Fib level. Just like in 2017, precisely at the Fib level of 2.36. Just like in 2013, exactly at that level. It wasn't way above or way below or in the mix of some other. It was exactly at this mathematical formula, case and point. Now, in 2021, things were a little bit different. We didn't go all the way to this yellow line. We went exactly to the line just below it. Not at some random number, not at some thing above or below. It was exactly at the 1.618, exactly at this Fib level. So what's going to happen this time? Is Bitcoin somehow going to plow through the yellow line and somehow go to some other crazy? No, it's not. It does the same thing every single time. So right now in the mix are a potential to go to the blue line as the top or a potential to go to the yellow line as the top. And that's what I want to break down. This is based on the Fibonacci sequence, which is older than dirt, right? We've been using this thing for hundreds and hundreds of years. This has been around and it's used in all sorts of aspects of life. And it helps to keep us level-headed and remain focused on math and factual evidence. So now let's take a look at what it's saying for 2025, because that's what we all want to know. And we can see with proof that we went to the yellow line in 2 of the 3 cycles that have completed. In other words, 66% of the time, Bitcoin has gone to this yellow line. 33% of the time, we went 1 line below to the blue line. That's facts. That's not a guess. It's not some assumption. It's not what I hope is going to happen. Of course, I hope $1 million Bitcoin. I would hope, but it's not likely. It's not in the cards. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. What I want to dig into is what is likely for Bitcoin. Because if we went to this yellow line, what is it at? Like, how high could this thing really go realistically? Because we know in the early days, Bitcoin was pumping, and it was pumping big. And most people say, hey, when more people get involved, when institutional money gets involved, and more ETFs and more of this, won't we have a bigger explosion? No. As markets mature and more money comes in, actually the opposite happens. It stabilizes and it becomes less volatile. So to think that we could somehow in some fictitious world plow through this yellow line and go like way higher is just out of this world. Now, before we even start, let me show you where $1 million Bitcoin is. That's up here, way above the yellow line. We're talking about of here. So is that really in the cards? No. But what is? I'm going to show you. Once we understand, we've got the 0.38 here. We got the 0.78 in dark blue. We have the 1 in red. The 1 represents the prior all-time high. And then we have the 1.618 in the light blue. And then the 2.36, that golden area that everybody hopes Bitcoin will get to in yellow. So when you dig into it, you can see that every single cycle, Bitcoin does the same thing. Once it breaks this all-time high, once it breaks the red, it goes directly to this light blue once it breaks the red. And that's the area that we're in now. We spent a lot of time as red of resistance, and now we're spending time as red as support, and we haven't gotten to the blue line yet. So the first question becomes, okay, what is this blue line, and is it likely that that's our top just like it was in 2021, or is there some chance that this cycle we will do something we couldn't do in 2021, and that's break through the blue all the way to the yellow, and that will bring us to what price? So to answer the first question, what's the blue line at? The blue line is currently just under $180,000 Bitcoin. Bonafide fact, if you take the prior all-time high and the subsequent low, and you expand that out, just as you're going to do at home when you watch this video, you're going to see that blue line clear as day, sitting right above where the current price is, and that is our next area of heavy resistance. So if we have a cycle like we had 66% of the time where we get to this yellow line, what is possible? Is this $1 million Bitcoin possible? Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but $1 million Bitcoin is not in the cards for this cycle. Do I think it's going to happen in the future? It would be almost inevitable. You can't say in trading and investing there are no certainties. The only certainty is that there are no certainties. But I would imagine that it would be very difficult for Bitcoin not to reach $1 million Bitcoin one day. It's just not going to be this cycle. In fact, comment down below. I have another chart that I really love that tells us when $1 million Bitcoin is going to be. I want to unveil that. That's a really cool chart. So comment down below if you want that. So now let's get to this yellow line. This yellow line is the star of the show. It was the star in 2013 when we hit exactly the yellow line. It was the star in 17 when we hit exactly this yellow line. So what does that put Bitcoin at if we were to reach this? And by the way, when we unveil the price for this yellow line, that's sort of the best case scenario. And we can all agree, based on all of the facts, that it's the best case scenario. It was way more volatile in 13 and 17. That's not up for debate. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. It's just a bona fide fact. The yellow line has to be literally our best case scenario. So what does that put price at? It puts price at, for Bitcoin, and potentially the end of 2025, maybe the beginning of 26, at just over $500,000 Bitcoin. I repeat, not $1 million, just over $500,000 Bitcoin, putting to rest all of the claims of these $1 million Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think is going to happen? You think we're going to reach this yellow line, or are we going to max out at the blue line? Trade like a tourist or go with the pros. The FFA is where the real ones go. Link in description.